Our story takes place on Mars in the year 3000. Humans of Earth have exhausted her resources and decided to take on another planet to plunder. Led by their leader, Elon Musk, the humans subjugated the Martians to create a new Earth. After many years, Mars has become eerily similar to Earth. Our story today follows a young man named Bartholomew. He is reading books written by Native Americans. Today, he will ride the bus. As Bartholomew rides the bus, he sees a billboard, as do the other passengers, for Martian Heritage Month. The other passengers are confused and frustrated by this, wondering why do they get a whole month? It's not like they were using the land. But Bartholomew can't help but think about what he read in Becoming Kin by Patty Krawick, an Anishinaabe writer. Developers still say that it isn't being used when they want to develop an area of land, but that only means that people aren't using it in a particular way.
The idea that Native Americans were supposedly not using the land is a historically influential justification for colonization. European settlers interpreted indigenous land management as an absence of ownership or productivity, ignoring deep understanding of their environment. This narrative served political and economic goals. It rationalized displacement, resource extraction, and territorial expansion.
At the next stop, another passenger boards, this one wearing special armor. He sits down, and the other passengers can't help but wonder why he isn't dressed like them. So they ask him, and he explains that he's dressed like that because he's a Martian. They'd never seen a Martian before, so they express that he doesn't look like a real Martian. Bartholomew continues reading as they drive past the tourist shop, this time reading Nature Poem by Tommy Pico, a Kumeyaay poet. Nature asks, "Aren't I curious about the landscapes of exoplanets?" Which I thought we all understood. Planets are metaphors.
Curiosity about other cultures is important, but if it's not done respectfully, it can become cultural appropriation. Taking traditions, arts, or symbols without understanding their meaning and history turns interest into exploitation. This often works to reinforce power imbalances and stereotypes. That's why it's important to research and learn responsibly.
They keep driving, and at the next stop, he gets off. But waiting for him is a police officer, who comes over and arrests him. The Martian asks, "Why am I being arrested?" The police officer explains it's because it's illegal to be Martian and homeless. The other passengers don't seem surprised by this. They say he was probably drunk anyway. But Bartholomew feels weird. He decides to read more, unsure of what else to do. Patty Krawick writes, "In addition to criminalizing homelessness, vagrancy laws are also used to criminalize prostitution, public drunkenness, gambling, and criminal association."
Native Americans are disproportionately represented in the U.S. prison system, reflecting a legacy of colonization, systemic racism, and social marginalization. High rates of poverty, limited access to education and healthcare, and the lack of opportunities contribute to over-incarceration. This can also lead to broken families and cycles of incarceration. Efforts to address this issue are taking place across tribal lands.
At the next stop, a new friend comes on the bus, the mighty Bigfoot. For the first time, someone asks what Bartholomew is reading. He explains that he's reading about colonialism, and Bigfoot exclaims that he is very familiar. As the billboard goes by, Bartholomew reads more. Did the police see a native woman and assume she was drunk and sexually available anyway? From Becoming Kin by Betty Krawick.
The missing and murdered Indigenous woman crisis is an epidemic affecting Native communities across North America. Native women face violence at rates that are far higher than the national average, and many of these cases are unsolved or uninvestigated. Historical trauma, underfunded police, and jurisdictional gaps intensify this crisis, as well as media and the government ignoring the problem. There are many advocacy groups active that are demanding justice and accountability.
And next, they drive past a school. Bartholomew had seen many schools, but never one quite like this. He decides to ask Bigfoot, and Bigfoot explains that it's a boarding school. Bartholomew reads more from Patty Crowick. One story about the mush hole that I have heard several times is about the orchard, that trees were planted after children went missing as a way of hiding unmarked graves. I often think about the roots of those trees, encircling these lost children with care.
Native American boarding schools ran throughout the 18 and 1900s were designed to forcibly assimilate indigenous children into European American culture. Children were removed from their families, forbidden to speak their languages, and punished for practicing their culture. These schools aimed to kill the Indian and save the man through harsh discipline, labor, and indoctrination. The physical and emotional abuse inflicted left lasting trauma across generations, contributing to cultural loss, family disruption, and social challenges. Today, cultural revitalization efforts are taking place to come to terms with the impact of boarding schools.
Bartholomew looks up from his books and realizes the bus has gone way farther than he's ever been. He doesn't recognize anything. There's no city lights, shops, billboards, anything. And so he turns to Bigfoot, asking him, "Do you know where we are?" And Bigfoot explains, "We're going where the Martians have been put." And he asks Bartholomew if he'd like to go with him to see something very special. And Bartholomew goes along. He's read plenty, and he wants to learn even more. And so together they go to the reservation. And there they see a beautiful parade, and everyone's participating. Nobody is watching. And so Bigfoot invites Bartholomew to join. And so all together they are in the large parade.